Ooh. My name is Jessica Holyfield, and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at Astro's Hide and Seek. This is, I believe, their debut track, so I am very excited for this. We have a dance practice, performance version, and a music video to look through. This is also a Patreon request. Shout out to Chris for the request. I know this is going to be good. Everything I've seen of Astro's, there's been some amazing qualities about the choreography, such an admiration of their work ethic, and just how they all move as one is just so admirable. So I cannot wait to see what debut rookie Astros look like. Here we go.
Let's go.
Oh, it has a little spaceship sound. Oh my goodness! So happy. Yeah. Really, I like the fact they have a little kid in play in there because it definitely adds to the childlike wonder of the choreo. Yeah. I like that choice. Nice. That was clean. Now that's low-key is very well done and tricky to do for how fast it is. Wow. Oh boy. Oh my goodness, that was adorable. Oh, we love it. Here is our performance version, ready to go. Let's watch it. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, I like the fact we switched the colors up on that. That was fun. There's your crab step. Yeah. Woo! Ooh, I like that. Yeah. He pulled 3 in the dance practice. It was fun seeing him do 2 here, but he pulled 3, like a clean 3 on that. Oh, don't they look so happy? Nice. Oh, we got to hear it at the end. I thought that was very cute. Yeah, no, me too. Okay, music video right here. Here we go. Time to wake up. You got a text message. Are we daydreaming? Is that another world? He looks so young there. Like, he looks really young there. Oh, that's cool. Little teleportation vibes, huh? 숨바꼭질 술래같이 쉽게 잡히지는 않지 Feels a little bit like, it's like on brand, this track reminds me of like Space Jams, you know what I mean? Just a trick in the back. Oh, that's fun! Wow. Oh my goodness. Moonbin looks like such a character here. He has a really great smile and you can really see it in this video. That was a funny moment. Ah, there's our logo. Ah. Oh, she woke up. And it was a dream. Ah. Okay, that's cool. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that imagery a lot. That was cute, some humor behind it, but it also has some depth too, doesn't it? Yeah? Wow, okay. Well, we're here to talk about this dance practice. Goodness. I like the let's go. Woo! This whole beginning, of course, with the arms, they go out. It looks like they're all looking in different directions, obviously, but you can tell just by the quickness. There's so many quick choices where they go and then they have to revert back very quickly. And that's just, it's super impressive, honestly. Da, da, da. They go and they ride through ba, ba, ba on the tone, and they have to match the energy all the way through, which is just, once again, very impressive knowing that they're singing at the same time. I would say some of these stability choices that we end up seeing a little bit later here, noticing that you have some of our guys facing towards the outside with their hands, so that's nice and subtle. You have other guys that are really nice and low, more crouching. This is a brilliant example of showcasing various levels at the same time that are similar but different, because you have more crouching happening here, and then you have more of like a lunge here, and then you have just straight standing. So I love that, and it creates a really nice visual up, and it just creates a nice balance too with 6 people. We're digging it. We're digging it. Now, this one does tend to have more stiff, like not stiff, what's a better way to word it? Has very clear finishing phrases, right? Like the movements don't really bleed over into the phrases. Like we're not filling our music like you normally see in an Astro routine from what I've noticed. And I think that's totally fine. Just like in other parts of their discography and in most groups, they pursue different types of concepts, especially even if they have lore, there's different niches that they like to dive into. A lot of times you're able to see that people have this ebb and flow tension and legato versus staccato. Here it's very clean cut, but full. And it's very clean, you know, as all of their stuff has been, but it's still just as, honestly, I think they're cleaner in the more recent years than they were back in the day. And normally it's the other way around. So that's kind of cool, honestly. I like this choice where they're going and they're relying upon each other, branching back, extending out to match my front guy. Then there's Cha Eun-woo, he takes his arms out, and then you have Moobin up top. He likes that little looking through, really fun. That's impressive. Just the stability. Like, I think every time I saw him do it, very, very clean. It didn't bother me whatsoever. I didn't feel concerned at all. Very cool. And then you hear this, sounds like a spaceship, really ties into Astro. We're here for it, like asteroid. We love it. And then I think is the name of the fan, like the fan base is called, are you guys called Aurora? Is it Aurora? Something along those lines. You guys have typed it out, but I'm just trying to like, let me go look real quick. Aroha. There we have it. Cool. A-R-O-H-A. Love it. So I love that. Where they go, they take the arms and they just really nice control going from out to end. That's a bleed over between your phrases, which is nice. Then there's your cleanliness. Boom. And then notice the blades really make this very defined versus stylized, right? So there's a lot of this in play here. I'm here for it. It makes all the choices feel low-key cohesive because they're diving into similar dynamics or similar fingerprints of their arm execution versus how they're getting in and out of their stuff. Group-wise, they're all doing it quite well collectively, which is nice. And they come up, I like this, where they go, they have a nice little bend to prep, and then they have a little step, it kind of feels not quite hopscotch, but I really liked how, whenever you're kind of hopping on stones, it feels a little bit like that. So I loved that choice where everybody's using that as a subtle transition. That was nice. It's an interesting logistic on your choreographer's part to figure that out. So that was cool. Then they all come right back into that straight line like what you saw, but it's a different person in front. Then he goes, na, na, and then everybody goes, they do a nice kind of pick up of both feet and they shoot out those arms to the respective corners. And then you have one of your guys with both arms up and everybody else is branching, going from the outside arm to the inside arm with the energy. Then having your feature right there in the center. We love that. He hits it through, da-na, and he goes and he shoots out with that hand. I love the fact he has a pizza shirt on. Everybody else is carrying energy. They hit it and then they turn, and then they bring the arm up. Sometimes I do see people use the arm while the turn happens, but I like the turn into the rotation. Looks nice. Then from there, same range as they drop that arm. Little things like that just go such a long way. It's so fun. And then they take it through. Notice when they lift that arm up, what happens to the head? Subtle tilt. Even that degree of attention was shown here. Looks great. Right down into a lunge to the inside. Then they end up rotating once again, bringing it down, getting us ready to prep to the floor, which is what you see here. We see a nice little knee slide as they slide. Great work on their part to mirror each other and get it to where they end up around the same degree of spacing from your feature. He didn't have to move at all. They calibrated it accordingly. And then you have your two other features in the blue that are standing and they go right to the inside and then they shoot those legs out. Super dope. Then they take it through, they swivel it in, accenting out, rotating the torsos to the respective sides and corners, but they're still framing circular to your feature. Very nice. And I love the little hop there, peekaboo from another member in the yellow. I love that you could see him there. Great height on that. And then they take the arms and notice that they go out and then they branch it to the inside. So even as they go out and in, they're not throwing any movement away. Everything has a place, and that's what really reiterates the beauty of the attention to detail throughout the whole routine, not just the focal points, but even the transitions. They look great. Even the walks there, hit, hit. Now let's really talk about these marches. People may think this is simple. Yes, it is simple, but is it easy? It's actually not, because what's happening is the amount of torso that has to be locked up, but the range and strength required to get the speed is very impressive. I would equate something like this similar to the do of God's menu. That's really tricky to do if you're not used to using those muscle groups to shoot up the energy without having to rely upon your back as much as what you normally do to get that energy pushed out. So this kind of stuff's really nice. And then getting everybody even on the marches, dun, 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 dun. And you don't want to overshoot your tilt because you don't want to look out of pocket compared to everybody else. But also, they also have to look really happy. And I mean, if we're being real, doing happy routines, you really can't make it look like you're tired unless it's in a humorous way. But whenever you're doing a dark, angsty routine, you can kind of draw out the pain that you feel while you do it to help enhance your character. But in this case, you really can't make it look like you're tired or fatigued, or it's going to lower the happiness, right? Happy is like full energy, extroverted a lot of times is what we equate it to. So you can't make it look like introverted movement unless you're portraying a character as such. much. It's just my kind of overview whenever you pursue a more gregarious toned routine. They can be harder depending on the context of which your movement is in, because you can't look tired. So they look really nice here. Ding, 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 ding. All of that. Very clean and precise, subtly polyrhythmic because of the marches happening in the lower half. Great work on that. They set it out. Bah, bah. And then from here, I love the commitment of just falling out right there. You have to have some balance to know how to be off balance to regain your balance on command. I like everybody else creating. Let's create a heart in the first 30 seconds. Why not? And I love that they explode it and they go right into the inside. Really fun. Then you have your group of 3. Notice that they're not all facing the same direction. They're angling towards your feature over here on stage right. Not really a feature, but he's still nice and low, still creating direction to the front. Then you have your 2 that are complementing what's going on in your actual feature that's up. So I really like the opposition. Super fun. They take it through, dun, dun, dun. This is technically, that was kind of like your simplest or easiest sequence is what you saw there. But how we got into it was pretty tricky because of what I had talked about of going off balance intentionally to getting on balance. Because what if he got off balance but he couldn't regain it? It would be really hard to get him in the proper spot to maintain your spacing. From here, new feature, he comes in, do, really nice. He rotates with the torso in opposition to the arms. He picks up that arm right there in line with the shoulder. Then he hits it through, boom. And then from here, they do a nice little kick, and then he kind of scuffs that other foot to get it reset with the other leg. So I like that. It's a little trotty. We're here for it. Goes dun, dun, dun. So I like how he hinges forward, but doesn't do like a rock, but he hinges, promotes, and makes it feel very open, communal. Won't you be my neighbor? Kind of feels like that, which feels like a proper introduction for this group. You know, there's like hide and seek, and it's like, hey, how are you? Welcome to our group. We're very clean and we got good vibes and good times, you know, kind of feels like that. We love it. And I like the swing of the arms to create a nice window transition. Then they're down and they go up. Really nice on the energy there. They take it, they wound it up the back, and then they hit it forward. Looks great here. He takes it up. He punches those arms down, and then he throws them down to the ground. We're here for it. Then from here with the switch, now part of me feels like we're really using our arms more so than our torso on that, because the torso speed on that can be pretty brutal. Yeah, so I kind of feel like they did like a hybrid where it's like half of it's the arm effort, half of it's the body effort to the switch up, and then they go and promote in their transition. Then he hits it, dun, dun, dun. Really cool. And I like this right here with the switch up where you have every other bum, 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 bum. It kind of feels like a little cannon, doesn't it? Where it's like a call and response almost. Yeah, hit, and then they take it. And I like how they swung it or created a nice little slide with the feet as they promoted into their transition, which is really nice. And then they hit it, boom, da-da-dum, really nice. Oh, I don't think they tripled it though, so my bad on that. Hold on. Oh, they go slide, hit, right there. Matches the syllables. Great. And he's the only one, he goes da-da-da-da. I like it with a little action with the hat. We're here for it. I love it. Then they go and they swing it out. They promote it up. And then they throw those arms out in front. They hit it with the pull. We're here for it. He goes, ow, okay. Then they go and they present, boom, really nice on that choice. Then they swing those arms, or they take those arms and they rotate in towards the inside. We're here for it. I love that little, that's fun. And that right there kind of felt like, what is that, a little reject? Not really. We do a scuff, but if you think about it, if you kept going and whenever he switched the feet, he lifted the other foot and he just kept going, that'd be a reject. But he took the leg and he pushed it behind and he scuffed that other leg forward. We're here for it. I like that. Da-da! Yes, with a snap on that. A little high five to pass off the energy. We're here for it. Not the same as a gimme five, but I like the energy passage like that. He goes da-da-da. Then you have half of them put their arms up. Sorry, 2 of them put their arms up, but one of them puts both his arms up. And right here, this is a crab variant where they go and they switch off the feet. Your weight is on both legs, which is why I'd call that a crab versus a bedrock. Old school hip hop party moves, but notice there is a complete absence of groove. Groove originates from the torso. It's your flavor. It's your sauce, right? It's definitely somebody's artistic expression through the usage of rocks and bounces. That is a hip hop vital motion that you need to make it hip hop, right? You can't do hip hop without a rock and a bounce. They're not technically doing hip hop, but they're doing moves that are derived from hip hop culture, from the party move scene, but it's definitely its own like isolated vibe. I'm not saying they're doing it wrong. I love how they're doing it. I'm just telling you that what's really cool is even in these cases, you do see other cultural influence on it in order for the sequences to make sense. But I really love the absence of groove here because it matches the tone of the track very well, and because part of it is the clean factor of the switches and the visuals and picture moments that they're making. So I kind of like the hybrid where we can recognize where it comes from, but also appreciate how they innovated it or how they adjusted it for the group for this concept, right? Cool. And the switches on this dun 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 and dun dun dun. Low key, it kind of feels like we're carrying more of a locking, like they're locking into a position, but we're doing like hip hop party move influenced movement, which is kind of cool. I like that. And then go swing. They swing it over and then they drop it back down. Then we go the opposite way, really clean on the switches on the levels and commitment to your angles with your arms. We're not kind of dilly-dallying or kind of putting in half effort. I like it. I like this swing. Now this part right here, we go out and then we cross it over and then it feels like we prep it and then we turn with on one foot, then we take it over, extend those arms out, we swing down, na, yes. And Isa. I like that, boom, and then up, really nice on those. Then we take it over, boom, yes, here we are, let's go. I like this choice. It goes, boom, here we go. Nice accent from our next feature. Everybody is branched out into their V. This part right here feels very much like bump a dump a dump bump 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 bump. You know, like in the basketball, old school, like kind of, not old school, but like I'm talking like Space Jam, that kind of track. It feels like that here, which is fun. The switch, ding, 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 which is cool. They did wear more sporty fits in the performance version, which is what makes me think that there's some correlation possibly, but I like it. There's this little run position, they drop it, and then notice they go from run, 1 foot, then they're now in a lunge, then they drop to a crouching position, and then they end up rotating it to the front. Really nice on the level shifts, just the drop on that's crazy. Then from here, that's where you have just a subtle, more upper body range with the rock from side to side. That looks really cool. Dot, 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 and then he takes it really nice as he presents it forward. I love that, boom, boom, and then we take it, we go swing, swing with the arms, we're here for it, then he takes it, boom, boom, love that, he brings it in, shoots it up, and notice they take their energy and they press those arms up to create a fun rotation around to make your feature stand out in a proper frame. We love it, hit, and then we drop, different level automatically. So I love all of this happening with everybody else still carrying the energy. Honestly, they're taking responsibility that a lot of times dancers have the responsibility to carry with a group. So I'm totally here for this. Really nice, and I like it with the two guys. They slid in, very similar to the case of them taking their slide in front of their feature, but I like that it comes from the corners. It's a different way to perceive it. And then from there, you got the other three popping in, which I like, and I love the fact that we end up in a beautiful 2 columns. That's super fun. Then they go out. Notice 2 of them come right back up. The others just set their head up. So we still have subtle levels represented. Really cool. Then they take it and they bleed those arms to the inside. Then this right here, I love this with the that's super cute. Love it. And then there's your march with a little pep in your step. We're here for it. And then from here you have Chan-woo come in. He says dun 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 dun. I'm assuming it's a little triangle that was made. They turn around, boom dun dun. Now does this feel symmetrical? Technically it's not, because you have 3 on one side and 2 on the other, but because of their commitment and all of their other formations, that doesn't bother us really that much at all. I mean, it really doesn't bother me. Normally, what I've noticed for myself personally, and others may feel this way, is these types of instances would bother me a lot more if the choreography or the formations or the content wasn't as justified in either the synchronicity, if a concept calls for it, regardless if a group's known for it or not, and how we get in and out of our formations is done with a focal point and with intention. It's kind of what I'm noticing for me, and because everything that we've seen so far has felt very intentional, even down to the head level changes and the choices we make in our individual moments has a lot of care. Whenever we see this type of formation, even though it is obviously not balanced, it doesn't make me think, I feel like we just neglected that part. I think there is an obvious reason for this, and I'm going to respect and appreciate it. You know, like you can tell somebody's effort and integrity that they have as a choreographer and as artists based on the type of product that they showcase. That can be from a performance side. When you see people perform live, you can really feel that, right? Through their interactions with their fan base, through their day-to-day that you see on video, or through their dance practices. I really feel like you will see somebody's true intention of how they are as an artist through the product. And you can tell a difference between whenever they're being controlled and whenever they have freedom of expression. You guys can see it. I can sense it too. In marathons, I can notice that, especially with like the ones that have been around for a long time. You can really feel that. So in this case here, yes, this is probably a company choice, but I can tell that they have a lot of heart and they have a lot of intention behind their movement quality here. I can tell they're genuinely like, here, we're ready to work for this. They definitely have like this childlike discovery waiting to unfold, at least just based on how they present themselves just in this dance practice at debut and in other cases that I've seen them perform as well. I love that with the rotation, boom, 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 they go, they represent those arms out. I love that. There's your James Brown, but there's still no groove in it, right? So that's another example right there with the heel toe heel with the slide in. That still is very fun. And we do know they can pull out some really nice funk about their movement quality, but we see that in other things I've already looked at. But this is debut Astro and we're here for it. I love it. He swung it around. I love that little swish, swish, switch. Nice. Really nice on that choice. Turning it through. Then they take the arms. Ding, ding, ding. Now this part here, I'm noticing like all this kind of stuff. I would think that that'd be like a Bismarcky, but there is nothing that is equating to it besides just the arm positions. That is it. That's crazy. They go. Nice little snap, little MJ. Kind of stoicness about it. He swings those arms. He brings it in. Everyone is down on the ground. How fast did they get there, right? Goodness, about 2 seconds, if that. So they're down on the ground. I love the little head nods of compliance of like, yeah, we're vibing with Moonbin living his life right here. Da-da-da. Cute. Love it. They take it through. Pulse and pulse and pulse and pulse. Yes! He says, da-na-na, and we go and we throw that arm. We're here for it. I like this part. Notice that we have a little bit more looseness happening. You can tell because of the shoulder and how we have more of a legato presence in the arm. And then we can also see that we're leaning a little bit more in our choices and we're letting these knees move and groove. We're here for it. Love it. And that little whee sound is what makes this door swing feel so fun because, you know, it kind of reminds me of whenever you hear a door and you hear a squeak, kind of feels like that. So I love that we caught that and it helped me recognize it in the music very cleanly and very clearly because I could see it in the choreography. Love it. And he goes, nice little hop, and then they nice subtle curtain reveal, new feature. He comes in, he says, I'm still here, and we're still here too. And they're walking back and he's looking around. There's no one there because they're all behind him. So I like that where you have one of your guys, I think that's Rocky, right? In the blonde with the white. And so he kind of throws and he kind of gets knocked out of the way a little bit and he's trying to catch another member, which I think is super fun. All of that was really cute. Now we've reset and we're doing it the opposite way. So I'm here for an advocate for balance. If you're gonna do the same choreo, I like seeing it done setting up on one side and then on the other course doing it the other side, because in my head I'm thinking about whenever you train people, something that's worked for me personally and how I've taught students, just depending on the style, is whenever you give them choreography, have them do it and then reverse the choreo. We do that with across the floor, especially in ballet and jazz, or when you do turns and leaps in like a technique class. Sometimes we would structure it where, okay, here is a turning sequence or a turning and leap sequence that you have a preparation, a certain type of leap, and how you get out of it. Or we want you to do the leap in succession or multiplied so we can really refine it. But how we would have them do it, a lot of times we would say, okay, reverse it. So you're able to train on both sides, and it's going to help you not feel like you're only dominant. You don't want to be dominant on solely one side, because that can really work against you when you do choreography or when you're working on leaps and turns on another side and it's completely unrefined. It can work against you mentally, and it can work against you physically, and it can injure you, right? It's the same thing as being too strong and not flexible enough, or too flexible and not strong to cater to it. It goes hand in hand. Balance is really important, not just in your technique, but also when you do choreography. You want to have an overall balance of what your point is, right? So if you're justifying a concept, make sure the concept is threaded throughout, not just bookended. And in the case with this type of structure, you don't want it to be too heavy, too stage right or stage left, meaning you don't want your formation to be hanging out too much over here or too much over here. So one way to alleviate that is when you do your course and it's a traveling course, like in this case, you notice in course one, they traveled it over to stage right. What are they doing? They're traveling it over to stage left. So that's why I appreciate the choreographer. This is not the first time I've seen Astro's format do this, but man, oh man, do I appreciate it every time I see it. Because to me, I feel that Astro is getting more out of the choreography this way because they're becoming more balanced in how to execute it on both sides. So I love it. Woohoo! Yeah. Cute. Now, are they in the same exact formation? That I couldn't tell you, but I really like the fact that we're able to see and clearly understand that we took the same choreo and we just traveled it a different way. Dun, dun, and then we take it out once again, hitting it through. Love that. We turn it through, and we tap it, represent, and then we swing it up. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Isa, boom, and we take that arm up nice and tall. There's our rotation. We kick it through, boom, with the little toe tap in the back. So he switches it, nice little rotation again, but notice it was a little bit more stylized, or it was quicker, so it was harder to clock with the blade on it because it wasn't a speed change like we saw in the beginning. But we got to see that just a little bit right there as a feature. There's your arms, boom. But notice in this case, it feels different, but the angle shootouts are very similar to what we saw in the beginning. So it's tying together kind of conceptually some of our established formation choices and dynamic choices. We're seeing them come back into play here as a form of a dance break because we are at the liberty to be able to do that collectively with the stiffness of locking in what we need to and not worrying about singing so much. Cool. And he takes it, dun, dun, dun. Love the explosion to match that high projection. We're here for it. He branches his arms out. Nice turn happening from one of our guys. He comes up. Love that with the arm point. We slide it through. Boom, boom. Really nice on the chest pop that we see there. Then he takes it. I love that choice where they drop down very quickly. Boom, boom. Take the body, and we really create that energy to go nice and tall. Then we go nice tension from side to side. I do see with Moonbin, he had more of a legato or more body roll presence out of that in the performance version, but it's nice to see there hitting it through. Boom, nice little moment from him. We're transitioning there right here into the same thing, but notice we immediately travel it. And what's crazy about it is they didn't have any time to calibrate this line. They had to immediately know what's going on and move it. Woo! And they take the head really nice. We're right here. They had to clock the range to where nobody got in and out too far. So that was really well done. And then we're hitting right here. He says, haha, here we are. We slide out, which is nice. I love this tap up, boom, and they slide it in. And then you have one of them present out, and then they hit it out, click, click, click. I like the reset. We go over to the outside or whichever side we're on. Really stiff, really clear. We go right here in the middle, and we shoot it right back up. I love that. We go tap, tap, da, 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 da. Yeah, and we swing it, boom, ding, ding, ding. I really like that. Pick up on the feet, little pas de bourrée with the pickup. We're always here for that. Nice little taps and bam, bam, bam. That's your kid in play, which is what we've talked about. Normally you see people face each other and you have an extra rock and bounce to it. So I really like seeing that here. Ties into everything. I love the turn from Moonbin on that. The slide in is nice. We take the arms. There's a nice little crossover on the outsides as well. Take the arm up, little pulsing happening here. But honestly, it feels like we're flapping it a little bit more than a pulse. So much density going on, but it feels like it's nothing. That's impressive. We love it. They take it, nice little hold of the vibrato. They all turn to help justify it and make it feel full in the movements. Love that. The turning on that, making it mirrored to transition us to a new formation. I love this little moment. Mr. Pizza Man going over to stage left. We're here for it. I love this choice where they go, they take it, nice little cross on that. Love it. Dun, dun, dun. Now this was cool. They take it and then they fold it in. That's a really dope choice. They go back in, boom, 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 boom. That looks great too. There's your throw. 2, 3. Look at that 3 out of that. Sheesh, that was dope. Goodness gracious. Let me see what kind of turn he did. 1. So this is just, I mean, you could consider it like a coupe, but he's not really wrapping it at all. But look at his spot. He's spotting that front corner, and he's finished. He finished technically, and he shot out in the back corner. So that was a really good job. He did great there. And I like how he turned it around and made it like not a true twist of flex or anything like that, but something of partial boogaloo influence, which we love. Love that high five once again. That was cute as we walk to the back. Here's your march again. Then we go. I like even my mirrors right there between my yellow and my guy in black and white. They look at each other before they clock over to their final spot. Hit it through. Whew, final dance break of like 15. I love the fullness of that sweep. Oh my God, I'm melting with the hinge forward. It made it feel so full, didn't it? Really nice. And then they go into a sweep into 2 ponies, taking the arms, progressing them up. Then they're using the arms to create a really nice hop out of it. Then they cross it back, and then they take the arms from the march back. They swing it up. We're here for it. Then they rotate, create a nice little wrist roll out of it too. Then it goes heel toe, and it feels this opposition teeter-tottering effect where it feels a bit unhinged or dysfunctional, but it's because they're separate. But it matches very similarly to the crab step that they were doing in their courses. Love that. Then from here, boom, I like that we went from the back. We did a subtle head to get us to the front. Then we take it back, and then we shoot it out. Nice arms on this. We throw it, boom, and then we step out, boom. We rotate, throw those arms here, dun, 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 dun. Then we swing it up, dun, 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 dun. Yep, so this part I really like because whenever they go down, they go, and you would normally assume this arm to have either like tension, speed change, or they would completely throw through it. But what they ended up doing was they stuck it and then they continued the slide. So it requires really good fixed points, meaning that they have to have it fixed in a space and awareness of isos going on in the torso away from the arm in order for us to appreciate that visual. So I noticed it in the performance version and I really like seeing it here. That looks cool. Then from there, they control when it comes up. They go to rotate. They take it, you, and they're pointing front for you, and they're holding it. Whoa. And even the smile. Oh my gosh, man. It's just, I smiled the whole time watching that. I really, really enjoyed taking a look at this. Man, oh, this was so cute. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Chris, for the request. I tell you what, I just enjoy whenever Astro makes it onto my schedule because I have not one but 2 individuals on Patreon that go the extra mile of support to be able to request these for everybody. So make sure you guys say a special thank you to Chris. If you guys liked me taking a look at Hide&Seek specifically, Chris has been on Patreon for a hot minute now and has just been very diligent in recommending some incredible works. And so far, I mean, I would expect nothing less of Astro, if that makes sense, in a great way. I think they've done a fantastic job on just every single track that they've covered. They've showcased something different about them, but they're still very branded for who they are, which is really cool on my end to see, even though I'm looking at their work completely out of order compared to most groups that I look at. So we're here for it. If you want to see more Astro, don't worry. Like I said, there's always a couple of Astro pieces that get looked at every month, so there will be more down the pipeline. Fear not. Even if you recommend one, there's a good chance it'll get recommended in the future. Once again, my name is Jess. Thank you once again for taking the time to watch, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.